This has absolutely nothing to do with any of the Native American stuff or my language videos. I just saw that shit on the TV, the election. I'm very disappointed in the United States right now. This is just fucking ridiculous. Look, I myself, I am mentally ill. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I've had it since I developed it about the age of 13. I discovered that I had it around the age of 20, and in that entire time I was dealing with that. It was damn near completely debilitating. Most people don't understand psychology or mental illness enough to even know what the heck OCD actually is. For me, like with what I had learned about OCD in health class, was not even enough to identify it in myself or in other people. But other people who had OCD, who were diagnosed with it, just saw it in me right away. And the point being, there's that, and the other thing that I kind of enjoyed doing, I haven't tried in a long time because of personal issues, is writing. And generally, with that, with the OCD thing and with trying to understand it and get better, I had a very good base in psychology from a layman's standpoint, and generally, if you don't understand how human brains work and human emotion works, you're not going to be a very good writer overall. So I doubled down into that. But there is another reason. I had a close friend of mine who married a terrible person. The man had severe mental health issues. He was a danger to himself and other people around him. And she had similar issues to what I had, obsessive compulsive disorder. And one of her obsessions is that she cannot make decisions by herself, or terrible things will happen. So she leaves all decisions to everyone else around her and just caves to whoever she thinks is the strongest individual in the room. And she married this guy. She had 2 children with him. And this guy had a very confusing, a streak of very bizarre, unconventional and confusing behavior. He would say one thing and then he would do something else, and he would contradict himself multiple times in the same sentence, and no matter what the heck he did, he always said it with perfect confidence. It seemed to almost actually believe what he was saying, even if the person he was saying it to knew full well it was a lie. And this guy screwed me over. He screwed his own family over. He's physically and mentally abusive to his wife and his children. His wife does not care, and I have not seen them since the end of July of last year, and have not been able to do anything about it. And now I know why. It's because America is completely up the ass of these kinds of people. How did you not see that shit coming? When this election thing started a year ago, I decided I was going to take a different kind of tack of how I looked at the election in previous years. They're politicians. Either they don't actually believe in half of what they're saying and aren't going to do it, or they don't have any idea of how they're actually going to accomplish half the shit they're saying, so you might as well throw everything they're saying out the window anyway. I focused on the election in terms of a job interview. I was looking at the person, how they thought, how they responded, how they answered questions, trying to gauge their strengths and weaknesses. At the end of all that, I bounced back and forth between several candidates before I landed on assuming that Bernie Sanders was probably the most qualified of all of the individuals who ran this last year of being the President of the United States. Unfortunately, all the other people who also thought that had no idea how elections work. So that's out the window. But looking at Trump, I looked at him almost off the bat, saw the inflated sense of confidence, and then I saw him contradicting himself and contradicting things he said, and then they started, people kept saying this was going to be a joke, there was no way he was going to win. And at the minute that I started to realize how messed up this guy was, which would have been about exactly a year ago, I knew absolutely that this guy was going to be the Republican nominee. Without a fucking doubt in my mind. And with the whole last couple of months, I knew that this was going to be a possibility, and I'm not happy about it one way or the other. I'm definitely not happy with this outcome. I could have lived with Hillary. Hillary, she's pig-headed, she doesn't like to admit that when she's wrong, and she doesn't like to listen to other people, and that gets her into trouble. But she's not a fucking lunatic. How do you people... You have a religion centered around a belief that an antichrist is going to come and you're never going to see him coming, and yet me, the atheist, saw this shit and you guys all voted for him. Just... You've disappointed me, United States. Just... You live with this now. I'm not fixing your problem.